prepare for this to happen to you if you stand for national anthem as any major American sporting event now. There are few things as attractive in a person as true humility and gratefulness. Conversely, there are as few things as repulsive as a complete lack of appreciation for someone or something who they've benefited from greatly. That's the impression that is being given off by many very charmed individuals. A great example of that is the controversy surrounding athletes like Collin Kapernick. Kaepernick has decided to exercise his blood-bought freedom in the most ridiculous way possible, by protesting the very country that allows him to be the ungrateful idiot that he's become today. Unfortunately, those liberals with an itchy trigger finger have decided that we're all racist if we object to his acting like the rear end of a donkey. ESPN weighed in on what they thought about his inability to be hired after his little stunt got the retaliation it so richly deserved. Via Daily Caller, ESPN First Take co-host Max Kellerman said during Thursday morning's show that the NFL injects politics by playing the national anthem and putting pressure on you to stand for it. Kellerman made the statement during a segment that compared NFL quarterback Collin Kapernick to world-renowned boxer Muhammad Ali during a discussion with Seattle Seahawks defensive end Michael Bennett. Kellerman said that neither Ali nor Kapernick went looking for a protest. The protest came looking for them. He was asked to stand for the national anthem, Kellerman said. You do not have to stand for the national anthem, and even if it was a rule that you did, is that Collin Kapernick injecting politics into the NFL? No, that's the NFL injecting politics. I'm very patriotic. I stand for the national anthem proudly, Kellerman added. The reason I'm patriotic is because you do not have to stand for the national anthem. Fellow First Take co-host Stephen A. Smith responded by discussing the public setting of the protest. Let's be real about something here. There is such a thing as consequences, so you got to know what you're sacrificing, Smith said. Muhammad Ali knew exactly what was going to happen to him. It appears that Collin Kapernick did not know that. If you're Collin Kapernick, what we have to point out is even though his intent may have been honorable because he wanted to bring attention to racial injustices and beyond taking place in this country, the fact of the matter is it appears as if he had no plan, Smith added. And when you have no plan, there's nothing to execute. Ali refused to fight in the Vietnam War because of his Muslim beliefs despite being drafted. He was arrested for committing a felony and stripped of his world title and boxing license, making him unable to box in his prime for several years. The Supreme Court eventually overturned the conviction. Kaepernick did not stand during the national anthem for all of the last season when he was a member of the San Francisco 49ers. I am not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color, Kaepernick said. He is currently without the team. While this is not the central point, can we just take a minute to address that Ali wanted to be a conscientious objector to the Vietnam War, a clause usually invoked by extreme pacifists such as the Amish, and his occupation was to beat people up for a living. As I said, not what we're addressing here, but they use the illustration like it's some sort of a vindication, so I just wanted you to think that over. What is the central issue here is the difference between racism and patriotism. There seems to be a problem parsing out the difference between racism and having respect for your country of origin. A country that has a society so steeped in luxury that some of the highest paid positions are in areas like sports, where nothing is being produced. This is a far cry from many places around the world where you'd better be out there every day hustling for food and clothing or you'll be hungry and cold. These guys do something that is completely pointless in the grand scheme of survival, and yet they're paid far and away more than most of their fans. Those fans, the ones in touch with reality, spoke up and said that they thought it was unacceptable for someone so privileged to be disrespectful of the national anthem of the country that has given him so much. They spoke up to the teams who collect their money and distribute it to people like Kaepernick. The teams listened, and they decided to do what was best for their bottom line. Those who agree with Kaepernick can try and twist this to make you and they feel like we're being racist or somehow insensitive to the ungrateful if we stand for the national anthem, but they've got a long way to go if they're going to convince the red-blooded, military-loving, middle America fans that they shouldn't support the country that gives them a country in which to live freely. This was never a matter of legality. He's free to do whatever he wants to do, he's not free from the consequences of what he does. As are you and I. So they can call me a racist, or a bigot, or whatever the next new term they make up to bully people with, but when they play the national anthem, you'll see me standing, with my hand over my heart, because my mama didn't raise no ungrateful freeloader.